Stoic Glow, Rewritten Script, Part 1. Imagine saying just one sentence, and it lingers in her mind for days. Not because it flatters her ego, but because it reaches a part of her she didn't even know needed to be seen. It's the power of time. A compliment rooted in presence, not performance. Most men speak to her beauty. A rare few speak to her soul. There's a common mistake men make when they try to compliment women. They focus on the surface, her looks, her smile, her outfit. It seems sweet, even thoughtful. But in reality, it's forgettable. Why? Because she's heard it 1,000 times, it fades the moment she walks away. Stoic wisdom teaches us that our words should be intentional. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So why waste words on empty praise when you can offer something that shifts her self-perception? Let me give you an example. Picture this. You're on a quiet evening walk, conversation flowing gently. You look at her and say, "There's something about the way." You think it's different? Just that? Then pause. What happens next isn't just chemistry, it's psychology. This kind of compliment doesn't answer, it asks. It invites her to reflect, to wonder, to engage with the mystery you've placed in front of her. You've stepped outside the pattern of superficial approval and instead touched her mind. This tactic draws from the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological principle that says, we remember interrupted or incomplete tasks better than completed ones. By leaving your compliment open-ended, you leave a loop in her mind that keeps pulling her back to you. She may ask, "What do you mean by that?" But don't explain right away. Smile gently. Say, "I'll tell you another time."
Ow!
The subject, that curiosity becomes your silent calling card. She starts replaying the moment. You haven't flattered her vanity, you've awakened her depth, Seneca said. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And in that space of wondering, she imagines you again and again. In a world full of noise, silence, and subtlety, stand out. Don't chase with loudness. Lead with calm confidence. And speak not to impress, but to connect. Remember this, the right words, spoken with intention, can become unforgettable. Not because you said too much, but because you said just enough. Stay grounded. Stay silent. Let the impact speak for itself. Stoic Glow, Rewritten Script Part 2. When you compliment a woman. Do you want her to feel prettier? Do you want her to feel unforgettable? The second forbidden compliment doesn't praise her beauty, it honors her essence. You make people around you feel alive. Read that again. This isn't about how she looks. It's about what she brings. It strikes deeper than attraction. It speaks to her impact on the world. While most men focus on how she wears a dress, you see something no mirror can reflect. Why does this hit so deeply? Because every person, deep down, fears being forgettable. We want to know that we matter, that we bring something only we can. By telling her she makes people feel alive, you erase that fear even just for a moment. Epictetus once taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you recognize her ability to elevate others too, create light in the room, you shift her focus from appearance to essence. There's also science behind this. It's called social mirroring. People shape their self-image based on how others perceive them. When you affirm that she adds value to others' lives, you reinforce a stronger identity within her, and she naturally connects that positive reflection with you. Imagine this in a real moment. You're out with friends. She smiles at someone across the table, and you quietly lean in and say, "You know, you make people feel more alive just by being here." She'll remember that forever. Seneca reminds us, as is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Likewise, it's not how often you speak, how intentionally you choose your words. So the next time you want to stand out, don't just praise what she is, acknowledge what she gives. That's how rare men move, calm, thoughtful, powerful. That's how unforgettable impressions are made. Stoic Glow, Rewritten Script Part 3. Some words leave no trace. Others echo in her mind long after you've gone. The final forbidden compliment is not loud, but it's unforgettable. I don't think you even realize how rare you are. And that's what fascinates me. It's powerful because it speaks to something she may never have fully believed about herself, that she is truly one of a kind. Not just attractive, not just smart, but rare. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject." If you give this compliment, you show that you see something in her that others miss. It's not because you're trying to charm her, but because you pay attention. Why does this matter? Because of something called scarcity bias. Human beings instinctively place more value on things that are rare and difficult to find. When you frame her as rare, her mind starts to build a narrative to confirm it. She begins to wonder, what does he see in me that others don't? That thought, that curiosity, it hooks her. This isn't about flattery. It's about reflection. You're holding up a mirror that shows her what she could be, not just what she already sees. In real life, this sounds like a quiet moment maybe. In the middle of a deeper conversation, she says something insightful, unexpected, and you pause. Look at her. Don't simply say, "I don't think you even realize how rare you are." And that's what fascinates me. She may ask, "Why do you say that?" But don't rush to explain. Let the silence do the work. Let the mystery speak. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This kind of compliment doesn't need elaboration. Strength is in its simplicity. Use it with care. Words like this can leave a mark that lasts far beyond the moment. Not because you begged for attention, but because you gave her something priceless, a new lens through which to see herself. And that's what Stoic presence looks like: cankered, silent, and unforgettable.